Hi again. So we are bringing April to a close now. May is almost upon us. And before we close out April, still thinking of it as Earth Day month, I wanted to share something else with you. I meant to include it on a last video and didn't get around to it. So one of my other heroes is someone we think of as a saint. I just think of her as an ordinary being, and it's Hildegard of Bingen, a beautiful being, a beautiful woman who lived in the 12th century. And she was a mystic and a musical composer, and she knew a lot about herbs, and she was very close to the earth and understood healing modalities and so many different things. And there's certain words and expressions and truths that we get from her that we're still using today. So the one I wanted to share with you is this greening of the world. So it's really associated with this earth time as well. So it's the greening or the revitalizing of the earth. The Latin word for it is viriditas, viriditas. And so we get a lot of other words from that as well. So this means really, it means greening, but it also means the truth of greening. So the truth that nature brings to us, the truth that nature instills within us naturally, the healing properties of things that are brought out of them by their interaction with humanity, the greening that comes of spring, the greening that comes when our organs are cleansed by certain herbs or plant materials, the greening that comes of ideas as we purge some of the old things and allow the springtime, our youthful things, to come forward. So this is really associated with the earth and with healing, but it's more than that as well. So it's the vitality, it's the power of nature. And some of these things are what we have forgotten, or we've come to think of the power of nature as this negative thing: earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, things that hurt us. And yet we see what great power they have. So Viriditas is actually the great greening power, the great wisdom power of the earth, and that empowers us. So when we receive healing herbs within us, we then receive their power to heal. We absorb that, we use that, we transmute that, we eliminate that. And so we have encountered that vitality. So all of those things belong to this time. We're going to be talking this whole year now about the future as much as possible, the present and the near future. Making references to the past where we need to for comparison, but doing our best not to drag it along with us as this burden that we've inherited, as the problems that we have caused, as how are we going to fix it. Because you'll see that I'll talk to you about that more often as well, that it's really difficult to go forward, as you know, when you're dragging the whole past, the whole 2,000 or 10,000 or 11,000 or 14 billion years with us and saying it's our fault, humans, look what you have done to the planet, the climate, the this, the that, the races, and everything else. So we're going to try and look at things from a more holistic point of view going forward and this year. So Hildegard, my friend, your friend, she looked at the healing power of things as our partner as well. When we interacted with nature, we all became whole in the process. She didn't really see the separation between nature and wisdom, between nature and healing, between religion and nature. And for this reason, she was probably branded a heretic, and who knows what back then. Heretics are my heroes, not surprisingly. And anyway, she also thought that we didn't encounter these things just because we were lucky. Oh, look, things smiled upon us. We got lucky. She believed that we went out to find these things, to encourage them, to call upon them, to be of benefit to them, and for them to befriend us, that we sought out these things. And I say this to you now because as the year goes on as well, we need to go again out into the world to seek ourselves, to remake ourselves, to bring this springtime of a new time to the earth, because we've been standing back a lot, waiting and wondering what's going to happen. When can we go out again? When will life be normal again? And so we are now looking and stepping out. And I want us to do that with this energy called Viriditas, with the greening of wisdom within us of the springtime. So as I say this, I should also reference the opposite of that, or Viriditas has a complement, and that is ariditas. And from that we get our words arid and some of the things associated with dryness. And those are also very present now. Dry air, smoke, fires. It's also associated with drought, with sometimes even with infirmity, with infection, with the inability of flow. And so ariditas happens when viriditas is blocked. So if springtime is blocked because there's too many fires, or if the greening of the Amazon is blocked because we're cutting down too many trees. So ariditas then and viriditas fall out of balance, and they need to be rebalanced. How do they become rebalanced? With nature's help and with our help and with this union and with this rebalancing. So that's what we'll be talking about as the year progresses. I'll bring you more messages and more invitations to participate and to talk about some of these things. I hope you enjoy these subjects and my take on them. Let me know if you do, and your questions and your comments are always, always welcome. So welcome spring if you're in the northern hemisphere. Welcome fall if you're in the southern hemisphere. Welcome to my heart wherever you are, and I'll be in touch again real soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.